got a lot to talk about with UFOs today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, to start with, congressmen and others are firing back at the White House and the FAA over the gaslighting about the mystery drones. New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer has questions for the FAA.
Come clean with folks. What's going on here?
New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer says now he has even more questions.
I'm writing to the FAA tonight to ask them, what do they mean by research and study?
Both.
Yeah, really, what do they mean? Of course, I showed the clip yesterday from the a politician who was saying that when he was in discussions with the FAA during the height of the mystery drone crisis, if that's what we're calling it, the FAA was saying they had no clue what these objects were. But as soon as the White House said it was FAA approved, all of a sudden the FAA said, oh, yeah, they knew what it was all along. And so I don't know what he's going to get out of the FAA, but I hope that we do hear back from him about that. If nothing else, it will be amusing. But George Knapp is also talking about this.
First question that could have been asked by the White House press corps would start with two words. What the... The second question would be, was the entire leadership of the FAA off on a 2-month spelunking retreat deep inside the bowels of the earth and thus didn't know about these mystery drone swarms? I mean, FAA, what's the deal?
Yeah, what is the deal, George? What is the deal? Of course, Jeremy Corbell also has words to say.
Yeah, I mean, the explanation is fundamentally nonsensical. I think we all had high hopes for a new era of transparency. Look, for me, on the UAP topic, but also just on a bunch of topics, we're not seeing it in that statement. Let me just give you a little breakdown here. The FAA would not approve research flights without communication with facility heads and same with military bases. You know, did the FAA authorize the ones that buzzed Langley 17 nights in a row? Did they authorize the untrackable drones that infiltrated 3 US and UK air bases? And that was going on for weeks. Did the FAA authorize flight restrictions if they had originally authorized these drones? It's absolutely nonsensical.
Yeah, it's nonsensical. It's obviously a BS story, and I hope that it is so obviously BS that the White House gets called out on this strongly from multiple sources, multiple people, and that we get, a real answer on the mystery drones. It's unclear to me if Trump just doesn't care about UFOs, and when this answer was presented to him, he just went with it, just kill the conversation because he had other things on his plate, or if the control group has gotten to him. So hopefully it's the former, because the second one we don't have a lot of hope of getting to answers. But the mystery drone situation is still ongoing, and it may even be getting weirder. Jeremy Corbell is sharing this post from Merrick von Rennenkamp. Federal officials tell Mercer County Sheriff Timmerman that unknown drones are engaging in swarming flight dynamics.
I was on the phone today with some federal agencies. They're calling it like swarming, where the drones are all kind of swarming together, kind of like they're packed up a little bit. So we've seen some of that, several at a particular location at any given time.
Sounds FAA approved to me. But I will give Donald Trump this in regards to actions involving space. As he just posted, I have just asked Elon Musk and SpaceX to go get the 2 brave astronauts who have been virtually abandoned in space. Of course, he blames the Biden administration for it. They have been waiting for many months at space station. Elon will soon be on his way. Hopefully all will be safe. Good luck, Elon. Well, yeah, absolutely. Good luck. I hope they are able to bring those 2 astronauts back who've been stranded in space for, how long has it been? 6 months? Longer? I don't know. It's a crazy situation, but I'm glad to see that there is a hope for them getting back safe and sound. Meanwhile, this was a really interesting, although troubling post from Ruby J. Alberto, who is an assistant for 2 secretaries in the government of Mexico, if I'm understanding his position correctly. He also works with the Nazca Mummy team. Ruby says Jay Alberto claimed he was in possession of footage regarding the U.S. retrieval of the Coyame, I said that right, UFO crash. Mr. Alberto later deleted his post, stating his intention to release it. Yeah, I have the vid. At your time, it's a ship from another world. And this is a crash from the 1970s. According to ufologists, local residents reported a mid-air collision between a UFO and a small airplane near the town of Coyame on August 25th, 1974. Certainly not the first time that UFOs have collided with planes. Heck, I showed a video a few weeks ago of what seemed to be a mystery drone colliding with a plane and going into the engines. Preston Dennett did an hour-long show talking about various times UFOs had collided with planes, trains, and even automobiles. I think the train thing is the funnier one. The UFOs hitting smack dab right in the middle of the train. Crazy stuff, guys. You'd think that they would be able to navigate better, but they don't. They keep on crashing. And when they're not crashing, they're being shot down, which is a great segue into this next clip, because Gary Nolan is talking about not relying on the government to retrieve a UFO. He's saying if you see a UFO crash, don't call the government. There may be alternative retrieval teams. And I'm wondering now, because we know of his association with Skywatcher, Jake Barber, and those guys, that he's talking about Skywatcher. But let me know what you think he means by this. He says, don't call the government. There's other ways.
You do that. You think you're doing the right thing. But, there are operations being set up to make parallel retrieval teams that have nothing to do with the government, to get there first.
Okay, to get there first, it's a race to those downed UFOs. How? What equipment are they using to monitor the skies to find these UFOs that are crashing? Are they just relying on eyewitnesses to call into a certain number or something? I don't know how this works or what he's talking about here, but it's a super intriguing thought that civilians could retrieve a UFO themselves. Now, I don't even know if that's possible or what would happen. Would the Men in Black show up? And I don't know what that would look like, but it's certainly an intriguing thought. And now that we know he was working with Skywatcher, I wonder if this slightly older clip is in reference to that. But let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, Jason Sands appeared on Joe Rogan, and with him was a member of the UAP task force, Linville Logan, who had some interesting stuff to say. And I'll just read this real quick because I can't play any clips from Joe Rogan. I get a copyright claim instantly. But from Neanderthal, Linville Logan tells Joe Rogan that he and David Grusch looked into Jason Sands and checked his background. Logan, when he first showed up, I read through everything. I was like, I'm going to have to run a background check on this guy. So I did the basics, and then I called up David Grusch. And I was like, boy, do I have a doozy for you. I can't do anything with this guy because there's not enough here for me to do a thorough background check. But boy, you got to listen to what this guy has to say. And from there, David took it on. And I was like, he came back to me and he goes, well, this guy looks to be the real deal. And I was like, holy crap. Holy crap indeed, guys. David Grusch says Jason Sands is the real deal. And this is coming from a member or former member of the UAP task force. Jason Sands, who talks about meeting aliens and all sorts of stuff, including hinting at the existence of the 20 and back program, which I've always, looked askance at, had a side eye for the 20 and back program associated with Corey Good, TM, per his deposition. So don't have much faith in Corey Good or his information, but could it have been based on something real? Could there be a 20 and back program? Certainly multiple people have spoken to it, claimed to be part of it, including Jason Sands. I don't know if he ever used that word, that phrase, 20 and back, but that is what he suggested, that basic concept, and that he was subject to it and that he didn't really want to talk about it. And so far as I know, he hasn't really opened up about that. But he has talked about other stuff, some wild stuff. And now that we know that David Grusch has signed off on Jason Sands, I think that we owe ourselves another look at the Jason Sands information. So let me know, have you seen this full interview with Jason Sands and Linville Logan? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, and getting back to the mystery drones for just a minute, it wasn't long ago that the FBI was saying they didn't know what these things were.
People come before us, they testify, and you don't get a lot of answers. And it's concerning, it's frustrating. You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
I love his frustration. I feel it, man. I feel it. But yeah, there you go. The FBI saying they didn't know what these things were like a month or so ago. And suddenly the FAA is all over it and they know what these things are and they've known all along. I buy that. And check out this post from Chris Sharp. This is the most consequential leak revealing the reality of the situation. Conventional anti-drone measures failed. These events were not isolated to New Jersey and date back to December 2023 over Langley. Actually, it dates back to 2019 or 2020 in Colorado, the mystery drone situation. But yeah, they can't take these things down. These FAA-approved drones cannot be knocked out of the sky. Meanwhile, a man from Scotland claims to have seen a giant UFO. Check this out. A man from Scotland, John McDonald, 63, reports seeing a huge object hover only 100 meters above his home and capturing this photo of flickering lights in the dark sky. What are your thoughts on this sighting? Well, I mean, that's a great picture. I mean, independent of anything else to go on. All I can say is it's a great picture. I don't know anything about this guy. I'd love to see a video of this object in motion. It's like a suspiciously good photograph, or you can definitely look close encounters-y, right? But it's a cool photograph, so I thought I'd share it with you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Speaking of wild stuff, what do you think about this thing? This is from Lawrence Ryan. I mean, okay, it looks like it's on wires. It really does. But is it? Is it? Then it goes down and just kind of hangs out on the ground. What is this thing? Is this somebody just pulling a prank and having fun, and this is something on wires? I don't see any wires, but you could digitally remove those. It looks so weird. It's too small to have a motor in it to be any sort of drone. Is this the phenomenon? I mean, we've seen freaky videos and freaky stuff before that doesn't seem to make any sense at all. Is this, chalk this up to another one? Or is this something that can be explainable by somebody having a laugh? Let me know what you think about this crazy object. I really don't know what to make of this thing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I don't see anybody hiding in the tree. With some wires dangling. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Also, much has been made of Hal Puthoff and his Scientology connections, but did the CIA assign him to infiltrate the Scientologists to acquire their technology? Well, that's what we're finding out on this podcast, UFO Classified with Jeremy McGowan. So let's take a listen to this information.
But he told me that
he is Lou Elizondo. Lou Elizondo told him this story.
Hal Puthoff had been assigned to Scientology by the CIA because the CIA wanted Hal to acquire the technology that the Scientologists used to test the Thetans or whatever it was. So Lou was either believing it, regurgitating it, or lying, I don't know which, and telling me that Hal was not really that involved in Scientology and he was only there at the behest of the CIA.
Wow, what a story, guys. Hal Puthoff infiltrating Scientology to get their tech spurred on by the CIA. What do you think, guys? Is there any credibility to that story? If there is, and I'm not saying there is, what do the Scientologists have? Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. There's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.